radar. And the only thing that they can, in other words, with the radar reflector, a boat will be able to see the target and then look to see what it is. For example, you might, after a couple of days at sea or weeks or whatever, you might fall sick and you are lying down in the boat. And then with the radar reflector up, the target will be coming up on the radar. And then they will see the direction of the target, and then they can look in that direction with their binoculars or whatever. But this is the first thing we fishermen should have on our boat, a radar reflector, even before the GPS. GPS, because it's not all the time. You expect your outboard to fail.
Yeah.
But let me ask you,
in the night, with the radar reflector, that will be picked up on the radar. So my advice to fishermen is the first thing they should have on board is a radar reflector. Thank you.
Do you think that, caller?
Hello?
Do you think that might account for why some of those vessels went by without rescuing him? Because he did not have he wasn't picked up on the radar?
The radar the radar have different ranges.
Right.
12 miles, 16 miles, 24 miles. Those big vessels can pick you up over 60 miles away with a good radar reflector.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
But
okay.
That doesn't mean they'll travel your direction, because they might not know. If maybe they have information, sometimes they might travel your way. But even if you have the radar and they're not getting any information, it's just like, you know.
No. The radar, they will be able to cipher whether it's a small vessel, whether it's a big vessel, because of the size of the target that comes on the radar. So they can know if it is a small vessel. And if they're out there 100, 200 miles out there in the open ocean, and they see a small target, they will know it's a small vessel, and why a small vessel can be out there.
Yeah. Okay.
That will attract their attention.
Understood.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay,
thank you very much, caller.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, so something you want to invest in, Mr. Alfred?
Say that again?
A piece of equipment you will want to invest in now, I guess?
The trawler?
The radar detector or reflector.
Yeah. Well, it's useful, but the flare, all these things. I mean, the fisheries admittee has made it clear. Because while I was out there, I was remembering this thing. I say, you see, the flare is important. You see how important the flare is? Sometimes if a boat is passing close to me in the night, I just bust a flare. And the boat, I would just panic the boat would just stay in the same direction, you know, and they look for me. Because they know the flare is in for distress.
Okay. You have another call. Good evening, caller. You're on the air. Please turn on the volume of your television. Hello?
Hello?
Hi, good evening. You're on the air.
Yes, I was saying bravo to the guts this gentleman had on the sea for so many days. I appreciate the idea of the wife. I appreciate everything. Even the government of St. Lucia help was coming into the help. I think fishermen nowadays should take more precaution. Like the previous caller said, they should take more precaution.
Okay.
Because this is a risky thing, and I wish he would never go back at sea again. Because to be honest, I followed that program from day one, and I was wishing that this gentleman came back home safe.
I just have to be more cautious next time.
Yeah, but he does have to make a living.
Yeah, I know he's from Beaufort. I'm from Mikot, but thanks very much he came back.
Okay.
Okay, well.
Thank you very much for your call and for your well wishes. Yeah, we're talking about the training. What about the importance of having somebody inspect those vessels, or do you think it should be left entirely up to the fishermen, especially after your experience, or should some higher authority now accept responsibility for inspecting those vessels, making sure that they up to a certain standard, that they have the right equipment on board, that they seaworthy?
Yeah.
Or should that be left up to the fishermen?
Yeah. You know, that would be a very good move. If, like, for example, like say, when fishermen are leaving to go to sea, to have the boat inspected, to make sure that they have everything in order. Now, you know, a lot of fishermen, they're so kind of way fragile, you understand? Fishermen on the whole, that's the way they're very kind of way harsh, you understand? Sometimes they might say, well, where's the man to come and inspect the boat? I want to go to sea now. You understand? They have a lot of misunderstanding in the fisheries with fishermen by themselves. You know, fishermen. It's not the industry. It's not the corporate whatever. The fishermen by themselves. So it is a very good idea to be a very good thing, because again it will be for their safety, for our safety. It will be for our benefit to make sure that, man, you're going to see today, make sure you have everything. So I'm trying to speak.
Can we look to you now in light of your recent experience to initiate some of those things and maybe light a fire under some of these people to get it done?
Oh yes, oh yes.
Yeah.
To me, if there is a board or if there is somebody that wants to invite me to make things like that happen, I would make it happen. Yes, I would, for example, look, I go out there and I didn't have my GPS. Now I'm supposed to have it, no matter what. Now the compass went wrong. Now the GPS is the right way to go. Yes, the GPS will tell you exactly where you are.
You become the poster boy for safety at sea.
You know?
Yeah.
You know? So, you cannot, all in all, you cannot leave the shore without a compass. Okay, for example, if the inspector, on that day, the inspector says, oh, Lazarus is going, let me check him. And I say to the inspector, inspector, I just left my GPS there, I have the compass, man. He go tell me, no. You see that compass thing you're talking about? Go for the GPS, go for it. Or if not, you're not going.
Okay.
He saved my life one time,
Okay, we have another call. Good evening, caller. You're on the air.
Hello, good night.
Hi, good evening.
Right.
I'd like to say welcome back to Mr. Lazarus, and truly to say that it is God that have given him another chance. And he truly need to consider committing his life to God. But then I also want to state that the Department of Fisheries have things in place from over the past 20 years, that fishermen, for them to be, their boats need to be licensed and have the necessary safety equipment before they go out fishing. So it was a part, I would say, of neglect on his part of not having certain safety gears and equipment on board. And it has to do with enough water, enough dry food stuff, oars, a sail, radar reflector, and these things. And these things, before his boat is licensed, it is supposed to be inspected by a fisheries officer, so that he can pass or meet the requirements of being a registered fishing vessel.
Right. So those things are in place.
So all these things have been in place for over the past 20 years.
Right.
That's true.
So it is just neglect on his part, and a lot of other fishermen being neglectful. Today we are a little modernized, and we have the GPS also. We have the cell phones. And these are additional safety aids that would help them in that event.
Yeah.
So he has a very good story, and he can be used by the Department of Fisheries to go around and say, look, I neglected doing this, but thank God.
All right.
But all these things have been in place. And training have been kept in every fishing community around St. Lucia, year after year, several months of the year, in telling fishermen that their boats need to be licensed, their license paid, which is just $5.
Okay, caller.
Okay.
Thanks for shedding light on that subject. Yeah. Thank you very much. Yeah, but as we said earlier, the indication is that from the international community that over 80% of these incidents is caused by poor judgment, and just neglect. As he rightly pointed out. We were talking about the ILO, the FAO, and the IMO, and some of the guidelines that they put in place, and he was saying that the Fisheries Department has been trying to enforce those standards. So what would account, apart from the obvious, which we touched on, let's hold that. Good evening, caller, you're on the air.
Good evening.
Good evening.
We seem to have rescued someone who have gone into problems at sea. What do we have in place for fishermen in this country where they are supposed to know what is in place? Whether it is cell phone, whether it is VHF, whether it is B, whether it is what? Is the story real? What do we do with our fishermen? What is in place for fishermen? And is it the fishermen we're going to blame for not having what they're supposed to have? Is this story real?
Are you suggesting then that somebody else provides it for them?
But you cannot have a license to go out. You cannot go in the sea unless you have those things and call yourself a fisherman.
Right.
You must go out there with those things.
Right.
Okay? So basically, where is the rules and regulation? What do we follow? So do you just go out there and say, I'm a fisherman. What do you go out there with?
So it's a question of enforcement
what
for you?
really are we discussing? Where's the guide? Where's the rules?
Right.
What do we follow?
Right.
So the question is it real? And if it's real, what we have to abide with? And did he abide by it? He had it? He didn't have it? What are we really discussing? I mean, the story does sound real.
Okay.
Something is wrong somewhere along the line. Get your facts straight. Bye.
All right, thanks. You want to respond to that?
What is he saying? I don't understand what he's saying.
I think he's suggesting that there needs to be some degree of enforcement. That's what I'm getting from him.
Yeah, that's what we were
Okay,
talking about.
so I'm not sure if he's suggesting that steps be taken against you for not having the safety equipment on board. I guess it's just like a driver driving down the road without a seat belt or his license. He is subject to penalties.
Yeah.
Should that be the same thing for fishermen?
To a certain extent, yes. To a certain extent, because the fisherman will not wait for you. If you say, well, you know what happened, boss? Tomorrow morning I'm leaving at 4. Yeah. Tomorrow morning I'm leaving at 4 in the morning. So the person who is in charge to make sure that to see you moving in the morning at 4 o'clock, he will not search you or whatever or check you the night of us before. You have to check you exactly when you're going out to make sure that he sees exactly what you have in the boat for you to go out. Because I will say to myself, well, if you inspect me in the night, I'll say, okay, bye boss, that's what I have, that's the line, that's the stores, that's what. I might go without anything there to say, I go in that today because the boss just inspected me yesterday, but he's not there this morning for when I'm going. So all in all, you as the inspecting officer, you have to be there every morning to make sure that you inspect the boats before they go out, which is a difficult job. Which sometimes the fisherman will say, oh, how much you buy my, you understand what I'm saying? Things like that. You buy my, how much you buy my, you understand? That is the attitude.
Right.
You understand? Like I'm saying again, you will not say, okay, my inspector was where, the guy will leave anything he feel like leaving because he's not there. Even if I'll go there, he doesn't even.
Okay, we're running out of time, so let's get some final words from you. Lessons learned, advice to other fishermen, and we can get some parting words from Susie as well.
Well, my advice to fishermen, that is towards my experience. Never ever try to leave that shop without the basic things you're gonna need there. Now, the basic things to me, if you have everything, it's better. Make sure you have food, you have water, you have enough gas, you have enough petrol, and most importantly, your GPS, your compass. Make sure because all and each and everything that the fishermen, the fisheries industry is recommending to go to sea with. Each and every one are very important. Very. I'm not saying important. Each and every one are very important. Even the mirror they recommended, the mirror. You have a mirror, the plane will pass and the plane say, oh, the pilot will say, oh, okay. You just take the marking. Okay, this
when you
boat,
register the position.
The mirror, if it's good, each and everything that they say you need, the sail, everything is important. Everything.
Susie, final words from you?
Well, I'm just glad he's home, and I want to say thank you to the government, Ministry of External Affairs, Agriculture Minister Moses Jabatis, Mr. Montreux, and something Mr. Montreux said that I think while talking to him that the fisheries should do that. He said like he think that the fisheries should imply a little insurance for every registered fisherman that is going out there to sea. Every month take a little from them, whether $10, $20 for
the benefit
insurance,
of the
for
widows'
benefit.
wives.
And I think that should be implied. Because I agree with him 100% while talking to him about Lazarus, and I agree with him 100% about that.
Of course.
I would say thanks very much. All those who participate and helping me to bring him back home safe. Thank you.
Yeah, and don't forget to thank the callers who asked him to make sure he marries you.
I would like to make one final. I forgot to say a special hello to Miss Alvina Reynolds. Yeah, she came and visited me in Panama while I was there.
That's our Minister of Health.
Minister of Health, yeah. And she spoke to me very nice.
By the way, did you get the name of the man who rescued you?
No.
Antonio.
Yeah,
Antonio.
you got it?
Antonio.
Yeah.
He has been
Have
talking to me.
You've spoken to him since?
Yes.
Yeah, I've spoken to him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for appearing tonight. And again, it's been a very interesting story. I'm glad you were able to share your story with us, and hopefully some other fishermen will benefit from your experience.
All right.
And thank you for watching and for calling, participating in tonight's show. Join us next week for another edition of Newsmaker Live with me, Kendall Burton. I'll see you then.